so that life can pour into you the form your imagination has constructed. The one who lets go becomes like the open hand. Nothing is forced and nothing is blocked. Life flows through the open hand. Life responds to the one who trusts. You begin to realize that it's not your job to carry the how. Your only job is to carry the feeling, the assumption, the end state. That is your offering to the divine within you. You say, here is the version of reality I choose to live in. And the divine responds, not to your words, but to your vibration. It arranges circumstances, people and moments to reflect back what you have already accepted as true. And so you no longer chase. You no longer beg. You no longer argue with appearances. You simply return to the silence within. You go back to the imaginal act. You go back to the inner state where it is already done. And then you release. Not because you are indifferent, but because you are certain. And that certainty is what moves mountains. Once you let go, you begin to notice signs. Not because you are searching for them, but because you are aligned with the state where they naturally appear. You begin to feel supported. You begin to feel guided. You begin to walk with ease, knowing that your path is blessed. You act when inspired and rest when not. You stop measuring progress with your eyes and start measuring it with your peace. If peace is present, you are on track. If tension rises, you return to stillness. And over time, you notice something miraculous. Things begin to unfold without your interference. What once felt hard now feels light. What once seemed impossible now happens without effort. Why? Because you stop trying to do what an effortless, elegant way. So you make letting go your way of life. You hold the vision, you feel the end, and then you release. Again and again, you return to that posture of surrender. And in that surrender, you discover freedom. You discover that life works not when you control it, but when you align with it. When you begin to act from faith, rather than fear, everything changes. Faith acts with assurance. It does not wait for evidence. It creates it. It does not beg for signs. It becomes the sign. To act from faith is to live as though it is already done. It is to walk into the room with the confidence of one who knows they are already chosen. It is to speak with the tone of one who already has what they desire. Not because they are faking it, but because they are anchored in an inner knowing, deeper than the senses. Faith is not blind. Faith sees what the eyes cannot. From faith, you are strengthening the state you have chosen to live in. One leads to exhaustion, the other leads to expansion. Faith does not require perfection. It only requires persistence. It means returning again and again to the truth of who you are. When doubts arise, and they will, you do not fight them. You simply shift. You remember. You return to the state of the wish fulfilled, and you let that state guide your steps. You begin to trust the nudges. You begin to follow intuition. You stop second-guessing every move, because you know that when you dwell in the right state, the right actions follow. The actions taken from faith feel light. They feel inspired. They are often simple, even small, but they open doors. They create movement. They initiate the unfolding of your desire in time and space. You may be led to call someone, to send an email, to apply for something, to go somewhere unexpected.